How frequently have you heard a cryptocurrency expert claim that XRP has no use? In this video, I'll explain why these folks are entirely mistaken and deliberately trying to construct a story that doesn't exist. I also want to discuss what John Deaton recently said on Twitter. He recently predicted the conclusion of the Ripple SEC case. And he explains why, in his opinion, XRP might be among the best investments available right now. I want to start this video by quickly praising Uphold. They aren't paying me to say this, and this isn't a commercial, but I believe what they're doing is incredibly fantastic. Uphold is genuinely handing out the distribution of Flare to anyone staking Flare on their platform. Now, the reason this is so fantastic is that I don't believe any other exchange is giving this, and it actually makes it much easier for users who don't want to hold their own tokens to ensure that they get the Flare airdrops. Now, I've recently said on this channel that I was astonished by how large these Flare airdrops were. And I was advising everyone who uses a centralized exchange and keeps their tokens there to figure out how to stake their Flare tokens on the Bife roster wallet in order to take advantage of any upcoming airdrops. It appears that you will receive future Flare airdrops if you truly have your Flare tokens on Uphold and stake them there. I just felt the need to say it. And as I already mentioned, the description of this video includes a link to everything I've pulled down. So, moving on, I want to discuss the ridiculous claim that XRP has no utility, which I believe we have all heard before. Now, the majority of those that make this claim are Bitcoin users, such as Maxis, who I genuinely believe to know better and who are merely trying to raise money for XRP out of fear. They are aware that one of the few cryptocurrencies, XRP, has the potential to substantially undermine Bitcoin. So instead of pursuing it with a legitimate argument, they tried to entirely fail the project by claiming that it was a fraud, a joke, and had no practical application. Yet, we recently received concrete evidence demonstrating how and why XRP will revolutionize the financial system of the future. And Bitcoin could simply never accomplish this. These are the types of things that Bitcoin Maxis is so afraid of and that Bitcoin will never be able to accomplish. And because of this, they use such absurdly extreme arguments while discussing the XRP ledger. Well, have a look at this, which XRP News tweeted. It also mentions that $755 million was just transferred for 1 penny in less than 4 seconds via the XRP ledger. Now, this is something that is virtually impossible to execute on any other cryptocurrency network, as well as being completely impossible in our current financial system. While some cryptocurrency networks may offer transactions that complete in under 4 seconds, the majority of people would probably agree that this is a significant improvement. Nonetheless, certain Bitcoin networks can be required to second transactions. Because those networks lack the liquidity to really facilitate a $755 million transfer, they are an issue. Simply put, there isn't enough market capitalization to accomplish it. And this is a pretty crucial idea that I don't believe many people are aware of. You can have the most cutting-edge technology available, but it doesn't matter if there isn't a large market for adoption. Consider Google as an example. There may be superior search engines available. Google, however, is by far the most widely used platform. All other technology is irrelevant because of this. It wouldn't matter if I built a search engine that was 10 times as good as Google. The market has adopted Google. It is really essential for cryptocurrencies. You need market adoption in addition to good technology. And it is this distinctive quality of the XRP ledger that sets it apart. Several financial institutions are receiving assistance from Ripple in understanding cryptocurrencies and how they can change their industry. And it will be crucial in ensuring that XRP becomes one of the most extensively used cryptocurrencies available. Consider a digital currency like Bitcoin. Bitcoin uses terrible technology. Although there are better cryptocurrencies than Bitcoin, it is still the most popular and is still in use. How come? Amazing market adoption has occurred. My favorite aspect of XRP right now is that although it won't always be the quickest or cheapest network available, I believe that one day it will have the technology and market adoption. But ultimately, it doesn't have to be, it just needs to be adequate. And it goes well beyond what is acceptable. Additionally, They have an all-star team driving the charge and ensuring that these conventional financial institutions are joining in. And I simply believe that this is a very potent mix that can produce a situation where XRP can actually develop into a technology that is essential to the creation of a new financial system. This, in my opinion, merely serves as further evidence of how absurd it is for individuals to state that XRP has no utility when the XRP ledger performs functions that are not possible in our current financial system. I don't know how you could be more useful than that. Now, when you combine everything I just said with the possibility that XRP may soon have legal certainty in the US, you get a very, very, very interesting investment opportunity. The reason I say that is that, in my perspective, XRP is the cryptocurrency that is most widely used in the financial system today. But over the past few years, the price has been restrained. The SEC really has a very interesting idea about what is going on and what kind of investors are in XRP based on what happened when the SEC case got dismissed when the SEC brought their case against Ripple and XRP. The SEC has kept big money out of XRP during its more junior years. XRP's price fell precipitously. What makes this situation so intriguing is that Justin Sun and Tron were actually the targets of an SEC investigation the other day, but the price of Tron barely changed. What, then, is Darren Moore Jr. making a point about here? He is, however, emphasizing the fact that the likely cause of XRP's sharp decline is uncertainty. And the reason why a coin like Tron didn't is because institutional investors, who make up the majority of the XRP investor base, could not risk holding XRP during the Ripple SEC case because they have much greater liability than regular people like you and me, and the SEC is actually looking to pursue people like them. To be safe, these institutional investors had to sell their XRP. Individuals like you and me didn't sell our XRP. Yet unlike market institutional investors, we don't control the price of XRP. And for that reason, a coin like Tron didn't fall in value. About all of them are retail investors. Almost all of it is dirty trade. In Tron, nobody important exists. Hence, nobody was obliged to sell when the SEC pursued it. There was no significant amount of money in the Tron token. It was merely being held by a group of kids who were hoping it would rise. Now, I didn't mean to upset anyone if you were holding Tron. It's not my favorite endeavor, to be honest. I merely wanted to make that clear. But I believe it's something we should pay close attention to. In XRP, there's a lot of money. And we can say so because institutional investors, not folks like me and you, were the ones forced to buy it when they were forced to sell it as a result of the SEC case. And now that the Ripple SEC case is about to come to a close, I want to return to John Deaton's tweet because we now know that large money is in XRP, or was in XRP before the Ripple SEC case, and those people will come back in. Furthermore, not only will those individuals return, but so will individuals who have been wishing to return to XRP for the past 2 years but have been unable to do so due to this lawsuit. Given that there is so much legal uncertainty around other cryptocurrencies, the majority of these institutions aren't going to handle them because they don't want to take the risk. Nevertheless, this will really direct them all toward the XRP ledger, which will be perceived as one of the few cryptocurrencies with zero risk. And the reason for that is that it will be the only one that the courts will interpret clearly. This is something that the SEC will never provide, and Congress may be years away from doing so. This is why I believe John D. is correct when he claims that XRP offers some of the highest risk-reward potential available. Even if we lost this case, what would happen? The price of XRP has already been suppressed to the point where we are already trading as though we have lost it. The SEC has maintained us in this position for the past 2 years. Even if the SEC prevails, ordinary investors won't sell. Ultimately, institutions will just need to find a different way to gain exposure. Nothing else will really change. However, if you can compare or contrast that with the thought that, hey, what if Ripple wins and all these institutions can re-enter? You can experience any event that has an explosive upside. Additionally, this is not even being discussed at this time. Nonetheless, the majority of Ripple's US operations have been shut down. What will happen after this case is over? What happens whenever institutions are able to utilize XRP rather than just invest in it? This will have a domino effect on the whole cryptocurrency ecosystem, making XRP the sole source of value. The SEC attempted to give Ethereum this. However, due to Ethereum's lack of legal certainty, they were unsuccessful. Ethereum didn't outlive the previous SEC commissioner because, as soon as a new commissioner was appointed, they immediately altered their minds on Ethereum's status. With XRP, this is something that will never occur. And I concur with John D., who said it might be the biggest risk-reward opportunity available. As for when we'll eventually receive that clarification, John D. believes we might have a decision in this matter as soon as next week. The legal process and specific findings Judge Torres must submit by the end of March are two of the many reasons I have seen for why we should get a decision by the end of March. But even if it doesn't, John D. and things max are still a few weeks away, so let's hope that next week brings the long-awaited decision. Once that happens, I have a feeling we are in for some pretty exciting days. Okay, folks. I appreciate your presence so much. I hope this update was enjoyable. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you did. For the time being, it truly means a lot.